Is Winston sane or insane? To O'Brien and the party, and some of the people that Winston does come in contact with during his life, Winston is looked at as insane. According to them, his views and beliefs on life are distorted and therefore wrong and insane, which is very much not the case. Winston is very sane. He is probably one of the sanest people in the entire, society of all of these people, I guess you can call them. He is more in tune with his feelings, and he experiences and sees more than the average person, or average shell of a person. That's what the party likes to call them. The party likes to call the people who live in the society just shells of people. That basically means that they don't really have personality. They're just all the same. They all have rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. They're all the same. There's no personality in any one of these people. In a way, he is more tuned to his feelings now. He sees different things. He's also very intelligent. That also gives him kind of like a higher leeway than most of the people there, because most of the people lived during when it happened. Winston lived before it happened, so he saw it happen from when he was young all the way until now when he sees it. So he has lived from when there was a society with normal people and what he sees what a normal society should look like and how normal humans and people should act around each other. But now that he sees that, it kind of makes him a little bit more intelligent, I guess, because he knows what the real society should look like. Likewise, that affects how he does come off to others. He may come off to others as kind of a show-off, kind of more, okay, you feel you're more superior than us, even though in reality he's just like everybody else, but he just has more experience with the real world. Another question that is there was, how does our society determine what is sane and insane, appropriate behavior or deviant behavior, moral or immoral? In our society today, whenever somebody does commit a crime, or for example, hurt someone or someone in that way, we categorize their behavior as insane, deviant, or immoral. For example, if somebody commits murder, or if somebody steals something, or somebody hurts somebody else, we categorize them as having some sort of mental illness and saying no real human or sane person could do that on their own terms or anything like, right? What we don't do is think about that person's past. Now, the past can affect someone's future drastically. So somebody who could have murdered somebody could have been abused in the past. Their childhood, they might have been abused by someone who they loved as a figure, could have been their father, could have been their mother, could have been their uncle, I don't know, somebody like that. And now they're just getting out all that anger. So someone's past, your past can really dictate what the future will be, even though you can decide to let go of those feelings or something like that. But in a way, we categorize all those people subconsciously and without really much thinking into, okay, this person could have done this because of this. Instead, we just say, oh, this person killed someone, they must be insane, they must have bipolar, they must be anxious all the time, they must have depression. We start categorizing all these people into mental illnesses, which doesn't necessarily need to happen, because these people could be normal people on the inside, but they've been so hurt in the past that they could be getting all their anger out right now. Now, this can also go right into, what if one person believes in an idea or creed belief that is totally different from or opposite to that entire society? Would that person be classified as insane? In our society today, everyone has different ideas and beliefs, so I do not think that question quite applies to us. Probably like the most I've heard is politics. That is probably the most thought at belief in our society. It's if you don't like the president, if you do, if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, all that stuff, people fight for it because they believe in something, they think they're right. The other people believe in something, but they think they're right too. So that in turn brings, you know, brings fighting and all of like chaos and craziness. If we did start judging others based on all of that, like if everyone just started judging others, there would be chaos. There would be absolute chaos, and we might even start turning into what Winston is living in right now. With everyone has to believe in one thing. Everyone has to believe in one thing. You cannot do this, can't do that, you know. Everyone's taught to believe in one thing, and if you don't, you are jailed for it. That example, which this whole thing that Winston is living in reminds me of like the Middle Eastern countries where religion is an issue, or, you know, if you're not the religion that they say that you have to be in, you will be jailed or killed, which kind of makes me think of this, what Winston's living in, the whole party and brotherhood. It kind of all makes sense. It kind of all kind of shows that this is happening now. All of this that he's like experiencing, we're all experiencing it in a way. Even if it's not as worse as, you know, like being killed for it, we're all experiencing it in a way. Politics obviously is a huge one. People fighting to have their voice be heard, riots starting due to different views and beliefs. In all honesty, it shouldn't matter. You know, we all are human and we all have the human likeness, but unfortunately, societies just don't get that. It's all over in our societies. So in some ways, if someone has a different view or belief on something, if it is something big, they also are put to the category as insane, which is really sad, because I don't think we should judge anyone by what they believe in. You know, be a good person. You'll have friends, you know? Instead, we should be accepting of everybody. Overall, or in conclusion, I really enjoyed reading this book. To be honest, it was a little bit hard in the beginning because I felt so bad for Winston, because I was like, imagine living in something like that. And then as I was reading through the book and seeing the different things that he was experiencing and seeing with everybody else, I kind of had to stop and just kind of think about our society, because I kept thinking about it. And I realized that that is happening in our lives right now. Everyone is experiencing it. Even if you don't think you are experiencing a form of what Winston's experiencing, which is very interesting to me. Whether it's religion, in some countries it is, whether it's politics, whether it's disagreeing about food, disagreeing with your parents, disagreeing with a friend, you know, you're all experiencing what he's experiencing, which is very interesting. Also, in a way, I think our government can also be part of that. You know, they make news stories on TV that are like, that doesn't sound right, you know, more lenient towards one side or more lenient towards the other, or more leaning towards one side than the other. And they make up stories just to make people kind of be like, okay, they're kind of distorting our way of thinking, which is very creepy to think about, because no one wants to be controlled by the government. But likewise, overall, I liked the book, and thank you so much for watching.